Hi folks, this is Vicki from patternprincess.com. Today I'm going to show you the first few rows here of how to do this really cute, oh, it has lovely texture, but it's like a messy bun, ponytail, beanie. I'm not sure what the proper terminology is. I guess when I write up the pattern I'm going to have to figure that out, what I'm going to call it. But there's a little hole in the spot in the top if you have long hair to be able to put a messy bun on here, or a cute little really neat bun, and then a ponytail hanging out the side. This pattern is worked flat and then it's joined. You can see where it's joined here in the seam. It's joined right sides together. So it's very simple to join, and I actually carried the yarn up the side because I thought, the first one I did, I thought I was cutting it off and I had to, weave in all the ends, and I thought, well, that is a pain. So I just been carrying my yarn up the side, and you can see like a little piece here, it's a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter because it's on the inside of the hat. So when you go across and you do the blanket stitch back and forth, that gets buried anyway. So here's the outside of the hat, so you can't see it anyway. And of course somebody's long hair is going to be covering it up if they have a ponytail. I made this one in white and then a green, and I'll have the specifics on the website as far as the colors, the how much, the hook size I used was H. So I have this one, and then I have one, and this is all like leftover yarn that I had. And then I had this kind of a dark pink here, and then I even did like a little bit of a tan and white that kind of has a nice little color to it. And then I did a blue, sky blue and white, and I thought that looked pretty too, but they all have the opening in the top. They all have the ridge here. It starts with a ridge, this nice little stitch here, and depending, now I did most of those hats, I think one of them I did a size 17 around. You start the bottom part with how, like, measure your head, or whoever's head you're going to be making this for, because that's how much around, or that's the length around the circumference that you're going to want to make this hat. Most of these, like I said, except for one, was 19 inches. Now this does stretch a little bit, so if your head measures, I would say like 20 or 21 inches, you might want to do it 19 inches, because then if it has a little bit of a give and a stretch, and it depends, do you like a hat that fits loose? Do you like a hat that fits tight? All of those things come into play on how tight or loose you want to make this hat. Another thing to think about too, now like this is a nice hat like this, but what if somebody wants to roll this brim up, and then that'll make it like if you have a smaller child and you want to have it the same size, but measure their head, and you can actually make it the same size, but just roll the brim up. And then as the child gets older, if the hat stays nice, then you can roll the brim down. So that's another option too. It's just something to think about. Okay, so we're going to start with the brim. So what I do, I'm going to get my slip stitch onto my hook here. And first thing we're going to do is chain 9. So here we go. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in the next chain from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet. Whoopsies, why did I yarn over? Single crochet in the next, all the way back through, we're going to single crochet. And so this first one isn't going, and I'm not going to do the whole circumference around. I'm just going to do this first, like a little swatch here for you, so you can kind of see how the process takes shape. And again, this whole thing is worked as flat, and then it's joined at the end. Now I just did a single crochet in that last stitch, turn it, chain 1, and then what I did is in the same stitch there, so that chain 1 didn't really count as anything, I did it in the same stitch. I did a back loop. See that back loop? You got the front loop and then you got the back loop. So I did a back loop, single crochet, and then I go all the way across. And the reason I did it, I found that if I did it in that first one, it has a really nice edge to it, and it just looks nice and full. No gaps on that brim, and I just If I was wearing it, that's what I'd like to do. Now, if I stopped here, I found out if I stopped here, there's really like one little stitch hanging out here, and then this is going to look funny when you try and join it. So I always picked up that very last, make sure you pick up that very last loop and do that single crochet. Now, turn it, chain one, doesn't count as anything, and go all the way on the other side. Just continue to single crochet across. And the back loop. We're single crocheting in the back loop because we're starting to create that ridge. And so because I did that single crochet, it gives me a nice little loop to crochet in there. Turn it, chain one, single crochet in same, and continue to single crochet in the back loop, because what we're doing is we're creating those little ridges. I'm going to do a few more rows here, and then you're going to see how we're going to start on the other side. I'm going to change color right away for you too. So see how nicely that's starting to look? Whoops, chain one. But just keeping a nice edge to it. Okay, so what I did is I actually measured this until it was 19 inches. So from one end to the next, I measured 19 inches, okay? Then I did not join it, right? I made sure I ended on a row where this loop here was up on this side, not down here, because what I wanted to do is make sure I could, well, I had a longer white yarn, but I wanted to make sure that I could weave it in and it really wouldn't be noticeable. Nothing would come out on the hat brim, okay? Because if you look, the brim looks really nice and straight. So doesn't that look nice? Okay, so what we could do now, so let's pretend that I've done 19 inches, okay? So what I'm going to do here is single crochet, and then in each stitch, so in the next stitch here, I'm going to single crochet across. And this here, this row, I pretend that that's a stitch in here, and I stick my hook in there. Sometimes it's kind of hard. Single crochet, and in that space, single crochet, next space, whoops, next space, next space, and one more. And actually, I could start working that in a little bit. I could have started working that in as I was going along. So here's the first start of your hat. So now then the next row is going to show you that you need to join a color. So I have this green color I'm going to join. And then once I join this color, I'm not taking it off until it's time to get to the tip of the hat. So what I did is I joined the color, brought it in, and I pulled this white tight, okay? So now I'm just going to crochet like I just normal. So the next one is a single crochet row. So again, single crochet here, and then the next one, single crochet, and then all the way across. And I have one more. Boy, that was a tight loop. Okay, so now I have the green, but my next row is going to be a white. So now what I do, because this is going to be the edge, both of these edges, I'm going to end up sewing those over anyway. So now I'm going to stick my hook in here, bring my white yarn through, and then I just do like a little loop and pull it tight. So it kind of has a little bit of a stability there. So my next row is actually going to be a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over and do 2 chains. Okay, yarn over once, and then in the next chain, go ahead and just work your double crochet. We're just going to work back over to where the green yarn has ended, right? Okay, and I'll show you when we get to the ending stitch how I'm going to make that look. Oh, didn't mean to grab it yet. Okay, now I'm going to, I yarned over, I'm going to insert my hook in that last stitch. Yarn over, bring it through. Now I have to yarn over one more time. I'm pulling this tight. See, I'm pulling the green tight. I'm going to yarn over, bring it through my 2 loops, and I'm going to tighten up this yarn even more. Now you see how that green, it lines up with the row before? And then bring this through here. So now I have done a white row, a green row, and a white row. Now my next thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to bring my green through this loop here. And it's a little bit of a longer piece from here to here, but I don't care, I'm going to cover it up anyway. So pull my white tight, and then I like to make that one little, you know, kind of a loop, but pull it tight here so that it just kind of holds it a little bit more securely as you're working with it. So the next thing I'm going to do is a back post double crochet all the way across. Snugged up that little green yarn here. So now the next thing we're going to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, and then we're going to go behind this double crochet and in front of the next and behind the next. Grab the yarn, bring it through, and then complete our double crochet. We'll do that again, behind, in front, behind, grab the yarn, and double crochet. And sometimes it sticks on, you know, it'll get caught, behind, in front, behind. So take your time until you get used to doing it. And even then, it sometimes gets tangled up and we have our fun. Okay, and I have 2 more left. You see how nice that's starting to look? It gives me that ridge look behind, in front of that post. Complete, yarn over, and then we got the very last one, and that's all done. Okay, so now this pattern repeats. So we did that white here, the green single crochet, the white double crochet, and the green double crochet that was the back post double crochet. So now I've joined my white yarn again. I brought it up the side. So now I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet all the way across. So I'm repeating the white. This whole pattern just continues to repeat until the desired, you know, however many times you want to repeat it. But hang on here. I don't think I can talk and explain at the same time. So what I did is I went through, and I'm going to go through again when I grab the yarn, then snug up this yarn, and then complete my single crochet. But then I would do my green single crochet, my white double crochet, and then my green in the back post double crochet. When I am done, I'm going to end with, I have to think about it. You're going to end with a double crochet. So, in the white. So when you end with a double crochet, you're going to keep your yarn long, and then you're going to put it right sides together, and you're going to join, and then do like a blanket stitch right through here, you're going to bring the needle, right? So when you go underneath those stitches, you can start pulling the hat tight, not real tight, but tight enough. And then once you get the hat joined, then you go down the side seam, and then you just go back and forth between the stitches and the side seam, making sure that you line it up. What I did is I made sure I lined up these ridges as I went, and it worked really nice. For instance, you can see this red one here. You see how this red and white, how it lined up really nice all the way through? It's very close, very close. And here's how on the top, I ran that yarn around, and then I brought it a little bit tight, and then I went down the side. And see how nice it's joined right here? It looks very nice, very even. So if you have this straight down and you're wearing it on your head, it really, you know, those are those little elements that make it not really look as homemade. And then I actually went back up, and then I ended the yarn here, and I wove in the yarn up here. So that's what I did on all of them. And I thought that they turned out really cute. So the written pattern is on the website. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew how to do the stitches and make this beautiful, I don't know, beanie, ponytail hat yourself. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And again, the written pattern should be on the website. So have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.